It is time. He's been sacked. It is my time here at Barcelona. Now, this one's been in the works for a long time. Actually, this career mode was decided at the same time as the Spurs one. But I've seen a few other content creators doing this, so I decided we'd take a step back. I wouldn't do it yet. I wouldn't pull the trigger yet, but now's the time. Koeman's gone. There is no better time than to start it now. This will not be a bog standard career mode, though. There are going to be some rules in place to try and make this a little bit more realistic. This is going to be a Barcelona debt rebuild, and it's going to be a realistic career mode. That's how I like to play on the game, so we're going to keep it that way. I'm probably thinking to yourself, Yorkie, what are these rules? Well, I will tell you. They're pretty straightforward. Rule 1, we can only sign players using profits from players that we have sold. I think that one makes the most sense. There's no way to give myself zero budget whatsoever, so if I say that I can only spend profit, at least for the first 2 to 3 seasons, then it should certainly make this a little bit more difficult. Although I still think there'll be some big money players that we can move out and make a lot of cash on, but it should make the budget just that little bit tighter. You're probably thinking that's not that restrictive though, you know? You could sell Coutinho, let's say, for 100 million, and then you could buy whoever you want. Well, no, you're wrong. I can only have 6 players in this team earning over 200k. Now, you might actually think the 200k seems like quite a lot, but imagine once we get into this save and look at these players, there's actually going to be a lot already over 200k that we're going to have to move on. We can only have 6 of them. That's instantly going to make us have to go for younger players, which I love. I think Barcelona right now have to use these young players to help improve the team. There's going to be a huge emphasis on the youth academy. I want youth academy players coming through as quickly as possible and making their way into the first team. After all, Barcelona are famed for having some unbelievable youth come through and do a job for them. And that's pretty much it. I don't know how long we'll keep strict rules in place. Of course, in real life, Barcelona are in a really messy situation with finances, but that's not going to be the case forever. They're going to have huge sponsorship deals come in, and eventually they will get rid of the debt. They're just going to have to manage their finances in current times pretty well. That's enough waffle. That's the rules. If you do plan on doing this challenge career mode alongside me, please give me your feedback in the comments on how you're getting on, as well as smashing the subscribe button, guys. If you go on to enjoy the video, make sure to like it. We'll be going with the usual. Definitely not dollars. We'll go sterling. I want strict negotiations. No international job offers. Of course, no takeover. I wish there was an option here to plunder you into debt. That might be something cool in the future. Everything will be kept the same. We are going to keep the first window, so if you do have suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. Bear in mind, we are going to have to make profit before we can make any of those signings. Try and keep them young, I reckon, players for the future, or even potential players that are going to have contracts up that we could snipe, like they did with Aguero and Depay this time round. Maybe we could do the same with a couple of players. Here we go then. The King of Yorkshire is joining Barcelona, and I did the suit. I thought we'd go a little bit Simeone, but I wanted the white tie. I've got to keep the hat on. Do you know what I mean? Got to keep the hat on. Most money possible as well with this tournament because we need it. Now, when you start a new career mode, you should probably go through your squad. We're not going to do that. We're actually going to go through the expectations because we got done dirty in that Tottenham Hotspur career mode. I want to know what Barcelona expect. I know it's going to be a lot already. It's going to be a lot already, but we got a good team, so I'm expecting to win stuff very quickly, but I just want to start bringing through youth. At least 3 youth players younger than 20. That's fine. That's the plan. Get 12 wins in home league matches, which we should do. Now, it's sign 3 players from North America. Is that just North American leagues or North American players? Whatever we do, we're going to try and achieve that, though. Even if I just sign players that aren't good, it doesn't matter. We just need to achieve that goal. They want us to reach the final of the Champions League. We might be able to do that. We're going to try our best. If we don't, I think we'll be all right as long as we have good domestic success. So we know we're going to have to be good from the get-go here. Unfortunately, FIFA do still have lofty expectations because, of course, on FIFA, they aren't in any debt. They've got no debt issues whatsoever. So we're going to have to do it realistic and make sure we bloody win from the get-go, which, I mean, shouldn't be too bad. This is a good team, especially in terms of FIFA. Now, let's look at the financials. And I'm telling you, boys, the 200k thing is going to bite us hard. That's one player there, to Stegen. There's some really good young players already in this team, though, so that's pretty decent. So we only have to Stegen at the moment, who is over that. I imagine as we get further down, okay, like, so we're actually not seeing realistic contracts, are we? Maybe my mind's just going to Football Manager, but we're going to change this instantly. We're going to drop it to 150k. I think that's fair, right? We'll go 150k. So ter Stegen is over. Alba is over, so that's 2 players over. PK isn't because he's only 150. Busquets is over, that's 3 players. De Jong is over, that's 4 players. Coutinho not over, surprisingly, but he's still off, isn't he? He's still off. And then we've got Depay, of course, who is over, and I believe Sergio Aguero is over. So we have our 6 players. We cannot pay anyone else more than 150k per week. without moving someone else. Of course, that'll be a problem when Griezmann comes back because he's already over that. Let me know down below if you think we should maybe lower 150k, but I think it's fine. When I've done rebuilds before and you're offering your bigger players contracts, they do tend to go much bigger than that. So we'll see what happens with contract negotiation in the future. But I think for now, 150k is a good sweet spot for that one. We already have our 6 players. We cannot sign anybody else now over 160k. We've got to figure out what formation we're going to play. And I'd like to go back to like the old Barca, you know, false 9. Depay could definitely do a false 9 role. And this kind of 4-3-3 false 9 when the wingers are really involved, bagging goals and stuff. I feel like that's where I want to go, and I want to try and maybe be a little bit tiki-taka. I think that's achievable in FIFA, and we're definitely going to give it a shot. I think Aguero could play there as a centre-forward as well as a false 9. I think Depay, though, would be my favourite player there for the future because I want to give Fatty as much game time as possible. This kid looks like he's got a unbelievable future. He needs game time from the get-go. So Depay and Aguero will definitely be the 2 that we swap between up top. Braithwaite, I love you, mate, but you're probably going to have to leave or be back up for the rest of the season. And De Jong, why did Barca sign De Jong? I don't know. I'm not sure, but he will be taken back because if we don't play him, Sevilla surely come in and say, no, you're not playing him. We're going to have him back. Middle of the park is pretty good. I'm a De Jong fan. I don't think we've got a decent young DM, though, so that's something that we need to be planning for in the future. We don't really have anybody now who could play that Busquets role, although De Jong could play deeper. He did play that at Ajax from time to time, and that maybe could be an option that we do. In terms of centre mids, we're pretty tasty. We've got Ricky Puig on the bench as well, or Puig. I'm not sure which way that's pronounced. But Ricky, lad, he could be coming on, and he could play pretty well for us. Again, they'd let Elena go, so we're a little bit weak in that position. We're actually weaker all over the pitch than I expected. This could be a very difficult season. We've got Antipti and Lenglet. I'm pretty sure they're not that well liked in real life, though. I don't know. PK, probably going to be his last season. Garcia, the new man from Man City, and I'm a big fan of Araujo, so I hope to give him as much game time as possible. I think he'll grow well. Sergio Dest, still very young. Sergio Roberto, probably the best option there to be our starting right back this season, if I'm honest. Dest does have a lot of pace, which is pretty decent. And then Alba, very, very good. Not so young. Don't really have a backup. I'm not sure how good Balde is. So we're going to give him the chance. We're going to give him the opportunity. I wouldn't mind just sniping good young Spanish players from other Spanish teams in the league. I mean, that's the team. That's the squad. That's what we're working with. What is in the youth academy to start with? Now, I'm hoping for at least one star, and this looks like he could be that star because Nasser at 17 surely isn't going to grow. Although 17-year-old Egyptian, I mean, we could give him the opportunity. In fact, you know what? I'm going to promote him straight away. Doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but we'll see how he grows. So instantly, there's a few players here that we definitely should be releasing. It looks like Hassan is probably the big young wonder kid that we have in the academy at the moment, Moroccan. Now, we'll set the budget to 0, but first of all, I think it's only fair that we get to hire ourselves enough scouts to do all the scouting. We'll get Benitez in and Adrian in as well. Now, I'm going to send one scout out instantly to Spain. It makes sense, right? We're Barcelona or a Spanish club. I'm actually going to search for technically gifted players because that's what we're looking to bring in here at Barcelona. The other 2 scouts, going to let you guys decide. Let me know now in the comments where you think these 2 scouts should go, where we'll get the best results for this first season's worth of scouting, because I really think the youth system is going to be clutch for us in this career mode. And that means now that we need to change the budget, and it will go all into the wage budget. Now, of course, the wage budget doesn't matter that it's that high because we can't sign anybody else now over 150k. So we will always keep the wage budget like that, apart from the profit that comes in from transfers of players that we will now hopefully move some on. I'm also thinking that this career mode will run pretty much like Leicester does, similar pace. Might sim a few more matches, but I'm not fully sure yet. Pretty much go for a month each episode. I think that's probably the best pace for this style of career mode. More than anything, I'm just hoping you guys are going to look forward to it and enjoyed this, because I think Barcelona is a very popular save at the moment, and it's one I really wanted to do at the start, and now we're finally getting ourselves stuck into it. I mean, let's list some players. There's no messing about, let's be honest. Ter Stegen staying, Neto is not. I've heard good stuff about Pena, so I might be led to give him opportunities. Tennis is going to go out on loan. Hopefully, I'm saying this as if these players are actually going to leave. This Alex Balde actually looks pretty decent. 17 and showing great potential, so maybe we do give him some game time. We're a little bit stacked at centre-back, right? Well, a little bit. We're a lot. So I'm going to actually put up Lenglet or Umtiti, but I want your guys' feedback first, which one we should put up. But I think we should put one, or if not both of them up. Oscar Minges could be decent. He could play right back as well. Sergio Roberto. Musa Wage is just never going to be good enough for us. I'm going to let him go. Abe will be allowed to go out on loan. I have to be prepared, though, here that we're not very strong in the left wing position. Now, several centre mids. We all know that Gavi's going to be a beast in the future. Nico Gonzalez isn't a bad player, as well as Ricky Puig. They're looking through some of the centre mids as well and just seeing if any of them really could play the DM role. And no, they can't. We know De Jong could, but the rest can't. They're all, you know, very offensive, good passers. They're not got any defensive capabilities whatsoever. Now, Kays will be loaned out because we don't need so many centre mids. Yusuf Demir's on loan, but I'm pretty sure he's got a future fee, and we're going to take that up as quickly as possible. We are going to buy Yusuf Demir. Need to bring some money in first. Philippe Coutinho divides opinions, but has never really done it at Barcelona, and I just don't see that happening anytime soon for him. We will add him to the transfer list. Mateus Pereira as well at 23. His time is probably done. Fatty, I cannot wait to use you. Alex Collado at 22 as well is going to be shown out of the club. I want to make way for the young players in the youth system. Ousmane Dembele, I'm 50-50. We can get a decent fee for him. He's been super injury prone. Never really kicked off at Barcelona. Do we let him go and then use that money to bring in a new right winger who's a little bit younger? I would have loved to have used Trincao, but unfortunately Barcelona chose to loan him out to Wolves. But we will have him back next season, and I'd definitely like to use him. And then up top, it's not that difficult, to be honest with you. You know, De Jong's going to go back, and we've got Depay, Aguero, and Braithwaite. That is just quite simply it. No other strikers, because Fatty, although he can play there, is going to have to play left wing, because we're actually really weak in the top-heavy positions, which is a surprise, because that's where you expect us to thrive as Barcelona. The Griezmann deal is just shocking me. The more and more I look at the fact that we've got Antoine Griezmann, I know he's on a ridiculous wage, and we can't afford to have him, but he just would be really good this year. I'm going to redo all the training again. The monotonous deal of doing the training. Instant bid, Man United, Dembele, and I kind of want feedback on whether we should use him or not, because I know he's not that bad of a player, and I think we could probably get a good tune out of him. I'm going to reject this for now. I really am. I want to get your guys' feedback on player sales. You know, I want you to be as involved as you possibly can be. I got some good bids in here. So we've got Musa Wage. It's a swap deal, which is definitely not what we want to do. I have to remember now, all this money that we can get from these deals are going to go into our coffers. Try and get upwards of around 3-ish million. And I think that should be a decent deal for him. Collado as well now, 2.4. I'm going to accept that one straight off the bat, I think. Transfer now for Philippe Coutinho, Manchester United, trying to sign him. And I think I overestimated when I thought how much money we could actually get for Philippe Coutinho. I did. I was thinking wrong values at the start of this video. It's 28 million, which is above his value, but they reckon we can get more. I'm going to try and get more. This really does have to be the kind of career mode where it's out with the old and in with the new and using the youth. Quite happy with that statement. Maybe we get that put on a t-shirt at some point. We'll actually just go 34 million. See if Ollie's like, yeah, I'll take that. Of course he does. 34 million for Coutinho. That will be really handy. We're actually going to have money to spend on some of the players you suggest. That is if he signs the contract, of course. There we go. Coutinho is gone, and we get 29.5 million to put towards our first signing, hopefully. Also getting some tournament prize money as we have progressed now to the final of that competition. Colado's deal, though, couldn't be done with Boa Vista. They could not reach an agreement. I was tempted to play it, but I'm actually not going to play them. I don't really care that much about the Friendly Cup, and we do lose to Bayern Munich. It's absolutely fine. I just want to get into the first game of the season, see how we line up, see how we play with the players we've got. Oscar Minges for a loan deal here, and I actually quite like this because he's probably going to play more out on loan. It's 2 years, though. I don't like that. So I'm going to go and delegate this. And if they'll do a 1-year loan length, I'm really happy with that because he can improve while he's out on loan at Granada and then come back and probably play a bit more next season. Transfer offer now coming in for Neto from Inter Milan. Of course, Neto, so we definitely want to move on. I don't see him getting the game time. 15.3 million, so the budget is actually going to be pretty decent. I think we might be able to bring in 2 or 3 players if, you know, we make the right decisions and you guys suggest the right young players. I think we should be able to. We've got 35.82 million currently in the transfer budget. Hopefully, we could just keep growing that now. And the Oscar Minges loan deal has been agreed, so he'll go out on loan to Granada. We've got an Abe loan option here. I'm actually going to reject it just for now because we don't have cover at left wing. If we get some cover at left wing, maybe with some suggestions, then we'll let him go. I do have heartstrings, though, for Abe because we used him last year and he was a beast for me. Dennis as well, we've got a 1-year loan deal for him, so hopefully he'll accept that. Minges has now agreed his loan deal. He's gone out on loan for a season. Hopefully he does well there at Granada. Let's see how much money we've got now that Neto has left as well. 48 million. Transfer budget slowly starting to look pretty decent. Got a loan offer here again. We're getting the loan to buys. If you get the loan to buys, just delegate for a loan and it tends to work perfectly. Monthly scout report. Here we go, boys. We need some technically gifted stars of the future for this Barcelona team to come into the academy. I'm not being blown up. You will do. Alvaro Gonzalez, get in the academy, son. Yorkie Suesca, I think that is how it would be in Spanish. We'll sign him as well. I want to get the academy filled up as quickly as possible with great young talent, obviously. It's going to be huge in this career mode to actually use the academy, so we'll keep our eyes. Like, Huesca does not look great at the moment with his actual overall, but we'll try him a bit and just see how he gets on. Definitely looks to me like he would be better suited to a wing role. Since he is right-footed, we will retrain him to play right mid. Who knows? It might work. We know a little bit more now about this Slovenian, and he's not good enough. We are going to release him. I don't know enough yet about Hassan. If he could reach 84 potential, that would be pretty decent for us. Gonzalez already looking like the finding of the century. 16 years of age, 59 already, potential between 72 and 94. The right winger, which is definitely where we need players. Could Alvaro Gonzalez be special? We'll find out. Another offer now for Musuage. It's more money, so I'm going to accept it from Sheffield. The money's getting more and more on him. I just need him to actually accept a wage contract somewhere. Abe, we've got a loan offer here with an option to buy. Again, I'm just going to reject the Abe ones for now until we can sign a new left mid, and a massive one from Manchester City for Frankie de Jong. Oh my God. 137 million. I'm going to reject it, of course, but wow, what a bid. That would be a quick way to get yourself out of some debt, wouldn't it? Wow. Pretty difficult game to kick off the season as well. We're going to be taking on Real Sociedad. Wesker could change position. There he got his overall. He's gone up to 48 now. So yeah, definitely was a winger. I don't know. This kid actually could end up having pretty decent potential. If his rating could be over like 80s, he would be good enough to take part at least in the team. You know, not everyone's going to be a superstar. First game then, and it's at home, and I'm excited to see what we could do. Sociedad, I've said it. It's not going to be an easy game, this. They've got a very good team. They're going to cause us some problems. They actually have a winger who I think if we did have the money to sign him, I would definitely sign him. I will struggle to say his name for the entirety of this series. I think he'd look very good in a Barcelona shirt. Our first career mode, of course, as well, outside of the Prem, which is exciting to see. Now, this is the lineup that you probably would expect. It's the first game, so I want to get to grips with the team. So we've gone with pretty much a full-strength team in terms of overall rating, maybe apart from Ansu Fati. And that's going to be the case for this game. But I do plan on this youth movement, so we're going to see a lot of the younger players get given game time this season, especially if some of the better players don't play very well. This is a decent Real Sociedad. David Silva there, of course, as well. Illaramendi and the man there out on the right-hand side. Barjual, if that's how you say his name, it's probably not, but he looks tasty and someone who would really fit this team. It's a new era at Barcelona, and we're trying to get back to the old days. I'm going to try and aim for decent possession. I'm going to try and aim to, you know, dictate the flow of games, to be a little bit patient with our build-up and try and dominate and pass our way to goal, which hasn't been the case in other career modes so far. So this is probably going to be a little bit unique for me to get used to, trying to pass our way up the pitch, but we will try it, and hopefully it will work. But Sergio Roberto there might have Ousmane Dembele, who does have the pace to really cause teams problems. That's not a bad ball in. Depay can't get his head on it. We'll get that out to Ansu Fati. Memphis Depay, of course, playing that false 9 role today. First time I've actually ever used that on FIFA, so we'll see how he gets on. He's more than capable and talented enough to play it, so, you know, I like the idea of him dropping deep and linking up play. It does mean that Ansu Fati and Ousmane Dembele, though, are going to have to do a hell of a lot of goal scoring this season, if that's possible for them. That's a great ball to Dembele there. I do need the wing backs, though, to really pile forward like this. Sergio Roberto trying to pull that one back across. No one really in the box to pull it to. Here comes Sociedad. They'll have aspirations this year of having a very good season as well, and maybe pushing up the table in what is arguably a weaker La Liga this season. And Alexander Isak nearly making it 1-0, and he is one to watch out for. Well, Depay now. It's not a bad ball. If Ousmane could just get ahead of it, he's strong enough. Got to be good footwork now, and just found ourselves being caught out there. A little bit laboured after the first touch. De Jong now. Play that into Dembele. Found him. Dembele's got Ansu Fati all the way across. Fati for the first goal of this series. Would have been beautiful if it was him, because I think he's the future of this team. Ansu Fati, given the number 10. He sliced at it a little bit, but I thought he'd got enough on it to find the back of the net. Great save there from the keeper. Are we whipping a decent corner? I mean, we're not going to be set piece specialists, but Ousmane Dembele nearly scores. That's not a bad start, is it now? Finally getting some opportunities, mate. Getting a little bit tasty out there. This would be a really good result because they're a very good side. I keep saying it, but they are a very good team at Real Sociedad. This is one of the teams at the start of the season I would have said maybe could be a bogey side. Maybe could be a team where we slip up. And you don't want to slip up on opening day as the new Barcelona manager when you're promising times of change. I'll better find the right movement from the boys here. And so far, maybe not so good for us in terms of movement. That's not a bad ball out to Pedri, though. Pedri now finds Ansu Fati back into Pedri. And Pedri will score the first goal of this Barcelona career mode. And he's another one that is going to be all important to this rebuild. He really is. And he gives us the lead here. It was the football I wanted to see. It was good passing plays. Link up with Ansu Fati was nice. And the finish was perfect. Well, many more of them, please, Pedri. Many more of them throughout this season. Oh, Yazabal now has done really well there. He tries to whip it across. Well cut out by Gerard Piqué. We want the half-time whistle, ideally, at this moment in time. Well, Sociedad, to be going in at the half, just feeling a little bit better about this first half performance they've had. That's going to be another corner, is it? It is, and the ref's going to let them take it. 1 minute on. Can we get 5 or 6 minutes, please? Yeah, of course you can, Sociedad. That seems to be the case at the moment. Oh, and Yazabal does smash that over the bar, and finally the half-time whistle blows. Full first half, but more even than I'd like it to be. Hopefully we could take over in possession now in this second half, considering that with a goal up, we don't need to force it of much. 58 passes, I want more than that. Here comes Sociedad, start of this second half. Isaac piling forward, tries to play it across. He's just been blocked off there. That was good work there, I think, from Sergio Roberto. We're not out of the woods yet. Monreal now. Play that out wide to Bazual. Oh, we need to be cautious here and just don't let him get it back. That was very good. They've started quick out the traps. Ansu Fati, though, has the pace. And this could just finish the game off for us. It could be Pedri and Ansu Fati with the goals. He was having his shirt tugged, and I think it just did enough to put him off. Got to finish it, though, hasn't he? The young man really does. Power more than placement. Didn't work out in this case, did it? Gerard Piqué might get his noggin on that. He doesn't. Can we win the second ball? You know what I think we really need as well in this team? Like an N'Golo Kante, that really fierce presence at CDM that just sweeps up all the mess. I think we need someone like that. Maybe Boubacar Kamara. People could see that as an option. He's going to be out of contract, so he might potentially be cheap. Alba now's managed to play in Ansu Fati. Will he go for it this time? A striker always goes for it when they get in that position. And that now should be game, set, and match. And now 2 young starlets bagging the goals. To be honest, it was a really nice ball put in by Jordi Alba. It was a really nice ball, cleanly put in. And I think maybe this Barcelona team, with the right players, that man included, could play a little bit more like Liverpool than Barcelona. But we'll see. We'll see. The style of play at the moment, I want to try and be tiki-taka. Look at me. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm starting to rethink the white tie, though, because of Real Madrid. The youth will be given options. Rui Pug coming on. Now, he does have his shirt tucked in. Is that a thing he does in real life? I haven't seen much of him, Mr. Ricky. If that's a thing he does in real life, then that's fine. We'll keep him that way. If not, I can untuck it. We will give him the opportunity to come on. Of course, it wouldn't be right if Barcelona had this first game and we didn't give Sergio Aguero some minutes as well. The man is very good at putting the ball in the back of the net. Jordi Alba again has managed to find through Ansu Fati, and this would be a difficult one to finish. I knew it would be. Great save. Really starting to be able to pull the strings out there now we are. Christian Portu coming on now for Adnan Januzaj. Let's see what we can do with this corner. And I want to go to wherever Aguero is. And that is a great header as well from Sergio Aguero. It's a good save as well. He needs to collect himself some match sharpness. It's been a while or two now. He's got some pace. He's got the fresh legs as well, of course. What can they do now? Moving the ball through the centre. Oh, that's nice play. That was clever. They haven't really whipped the ball in too many times to Isaac. Time they did, but well saved by ter Stegen. There goes the full-time whistle. First game under our management, and it is a victory for us. 2-0. We were a little bit tentative at the start, but once we start to find our flow and our passing ability, we look really good, to be honest. We were very happy that it was Pedri and Ansu Fati getting the goals. The future of this team, after all. Well, in the end, we did pick it up a little bit, didn't we? We don't have the possession, which is weird, because we had a lot more passes in the second half. So it's weird that we didn't win the possession battle, but I'm not sure on FIFA that it's all that accurate possession, but the passes were improved and I'm much happier with that and the win. But I do need to give you guys enough time to actually be able to scout the players that you recommend. So we're going to leave that one there. We've got 2 scouts to send out. I need to know where you want them to go. And we've got roughly around 50 million in the transfer pot at the moment to bring players in. We're weak in several areas. We're weak on the wings. We're weak at left back. And we don't have any cover for Busquets. We could use De Jong there and use Ricky Puig in the centre mid position. I want you to know, I will say Ricky Puig. I'll say his name wrong for the entirety of this series. If that upsets you, don't watch any more of this. Now, if you did enjoy it, though, make sure to smash that subscribe button as well as hitting the like button. And hopefully, this can be a long and prosperous career mode. I will just sit now and wait exactly where I am for your guys' feedback.